What are you little bitches? Okay, I don't know why. My lipstick is looking stupid right there. I don't appreciate that. Y'all just got a face full of goddamn deodorant. Okay. Anyway, so welcome to all of my millions of YouTube subscribers and my millions of viewers and the millions of dollars of advertisement, sponsors and shit, and all the beautiful opportunities that this channel has brought into my life. Hello, thank y'all. We're back. So, as you can probably tell, I'm feeling a lot better in this moment. I am definitely going through a deep, deep, deep healing transformation. And some days are just going to be better than others, and I've just accepted all of it. So yesterday's video was all about me really getting into my little girl. So I just got out of my meditation. It's actually March 29th, 2024. I'm still in Cape Town, South Africa, living in Cape Coral. I'm going to be looking back at all of this, right? And it's like, oh my God, me and my man going to be sitting here watching this. And, he's going to be like, oh my God, because I'm sure he's doing similar work, to be prepared for me. So, and it's 3:41 p.m. South Africa time. All right. So, my days are numbered here. I have 3, 9, about 2 weeks left here. And yeah, so I'm gonna tell y'all about yesterday. So after I made the video that y'all saw yesterday, my energy just went just I just was not I didn't have that much energy in the video, as y'all can look at it and tell. But let me just say, if it is anybody here who has watched all of these, who's literally been watching my whole journey, this is number 13, who've been watching all of this shit, I just want to say thank you so much. Like, y'all keep me going. I just really appreciate the comments and the fact that y'all are sitting here and watching this. I really hope that y'all are getting something out of this too. Obviously, I'm not sharing for me. I can do this work without the camera, and it would be just as effective. But I do care about affecting change, and there's some. If I can just help people out there recognize some things, oh my God, that's great. Okay, so I love y'all for watching and caring about my life. Anyway, so yesterday my energy I didn't have really energy to do anything. And one of the things, again, this book is really the catalyst. Breaking the habit of being yourself, and the meditation attached is really the catalyst and my saving grace to getting me through this. That in conjunction with therapy, that in conjunction to my support system. But really, when all of those people are not talking to me or not around, the only thing I have is myself and the books and the meditations. Like, I just have and the true determination to truly change. So my energy was like, I was just like not feeling good. Like, I'm like when I'm heartbroken or not okay, like, I just simply don't have a lot of energy. I feel weak, and I feel not really motivated. Like, I have not really had the headspace to really focus on like business or anything like that. The only thing business related that I've been focusing on is just really just taking care of my customers, with the existing ones, and doing this. This is also business because, I do have millions of advertisement dollars, with this channel. Anyway, and so I just didn't really do anything, and then I just like laid down, didn't leave the apartment. I haven't been leaving the apartment very much. It's just where I am, have not been wanting to leave the house. And I'm appreciative to have a nice apartment that I can just be comfortable in and be in this bitch for days at a time and leave only when I need to, whatever. I'm also coming off my period, so I'm just really doing what I'm doing. And so yesterday I'm like, okay, I just got really low. I was low energy, so I just kind of laid around and I just watched Martin, try to find something funny for me to watch, because I've been watching the originals because I just like vampires. So I've been watching that, but sometimes I don't feel like looking at that, so I just watched Martin. Kind of laughed at that a little bit and just was, spent some time on my phone. I feel like the last 2 days, before yesterday, I was literally I was on the phone, because I don't know, I just didn't want to be alone or whatever. Like, I just needed to talk to people, and I think I'm just kind of all talked out, so I did not talk on the phone very much, or really at all yesterday. I talked to Roberta for maybe 30 minutes, and that conversation was real low energy because I just didn't have the energy. And I thought about just turning my phone off completely because that was just one of them days. Like, I just didn't really feel like talking. Because it was all talked out, really. And I've been talking to my ex. His name is Bruce. You know, my ex dude I used to fuck around with back then. Back when I was like 15, like no, not 15, 16 or some shit like that. And we reconnecting and talking, you know, just talking to people. But yesterday I wasn't on that shit. Yesterday I was just like, So then I ended up painting a very weak, whack ass painting. But I was like, okay, let me try to do something else. And so then, like a little bit after the painting, I ended up making I called my dad and he didn't answer, which triggered me to post him to tag him in the post. And I just like, my dad don't talk to me, and just listed out, you know, how painful that was, and that's it. And of course, I got a lot of views on that. Maybe that's how some of y'all ended up being subscribers and watching this video. But you know, it is one of those situations where, you know, I reached out to him, reached out to my stepmom. Normally, when I reach out to my stepmom, which is insane, I have to go through somebody else to get to my dad. Wow, just realized that parallel with the trauma bond I'm healing from. It was a point in time where I literally, where because of his life and because of the baby mom that he chose, I literally had to communicate with him through his best friend. That's the only way we was communicating. Interesting connection. Anyway, so I, you know, I would have to say, hey, can you tell dad to call? Can you tell dad to call? I don't know if I said this in the video before, but you know, I can't remember the last time me and dad had like a real conversation. I think it was sometime last year in June or some shit like that. But you know, a couple of weeks ago, I wrote Grace, which is my stepmom, and I said, hey, do you have any idea why dad is not talking to me and my sister? Well, I don't know. Maybe you should ask him. That's stupid. I mean, bitch, I got his number. Do you think I'm just sitting here just not trying to reach out and just, no, stupid. I mean, clearly I'm trying to ask him. It's kind of hard to ask somebody something if they don't answer the phone or text, and I asked dad that. I asked him that. So, it's kind of one of them things, well, fuck it. I'm going to put it online, because maybe this will finally get your attention. And, I'm also just a smart marketer. I knew it would lead to more YouTube people here because my vulnerable posts do very well. And, hey, look, it is what it is. So I made that post and I cried. I cried while typing it. I cried a lot. I released a lot. It was a good cry. You know what I'm saying? It was a sincere cry. And this is a part of the brand. A part of my brand is humanity. I don't want the Whitney Houston syndrome of perfect princess, don't ever have a bad day shit, and then when you finally have a bad day, people act stupid. Like, nah, this is like who I am. It's why I really love Cardi B. So, I cried and I felt so much better after the cry. And so then, I ended up going into my room and I remember just, feeling better, improvement from the day. The day was just really like almost lethargic in the head, like I didn't even have the will to really fight whatever energy I was feeling, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of what I'm doing in this Breaking Habit of Being Yourself, one of the things you have to practice is whenever you're thinking a negative thought or thinking something that's the old self, you say change. I didn't really like I remember literally sitting down yesterday and my change was like, change. Like I like, sometimes change, like sometimes it could be like really powerful, but I couldn't have it. And I just had to I was where I was. So I started feeling better after crying, more energetic. And so that cleared up mental space. And to the men out there, please cry often. Cry as women, men, everybody needs to cry as much as they need to because it's really good for you. All right. So so then I had a victory. I had a really big victory. So I was just sitting there lamenting like about the times he would tell me he missed me, and I would start to feel like, oh, I don't feel it. I'm sad because I no longer have him telling me he missed me. He asked someone else. Then I was like, Sydney, that's literally all he did was say he missed you. He didn't do anything. Imagine how you're gonna feel when you have a man that tells you he misses you and actually does something about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, tells you he loves you and actually shows it. See, Sydney, you keep saying this is your first love. Like, nah, this is your first trauma bond. This is your first, like, real, long-winded trauma bond. This wasn't really your first love. You don't know what in love feels like until you have a man that's treating you the way you need to be treated, and his words is matching his actions. You did not experience that at all with this relationship. And I was like, oh, now I've had these kind of thoughts before, but they wouldn't really hit like that. But like for some reason, I loved how that thought just came in. I didn't have to like consciously get it. It just, I had the lamenting, let's feel bad about the fact that you no longer have a narcissistic, emotionally abusive dude telling you a bunch of shit to make you feel good in your life. Let's be sad about that. Listen. And then a thought came in, but said, and it was like, oh! I literally danced in the kitchen. I literally like twerked my ass in the kitchen because, oh my God, the program was like, okay, the program is breaking. I'm seeing cracks in the holographic reality of this being all I can do, this being the best I can have. This is all there is. I need to feel bad about not like all of the delusional shit that my daddy issues have manifested for me, and that I have, like, that's what the fuck has been going on. And so like this book has really been my saving grace because I'm seeing the cracks. I remember in Hunger Games when she shot the arrow at the fucking dome and you thinking this is like real. I'm really in the jungle. It's all fake. And she shot the thing and then what's it called? The shit shattered and she saw she was just in some kind of studio. It was this kind of fucking studio kind of thing. And that's like what came to my head last night. It's like, oh my God, I'm starting to see cracks in this delusional reality that I've created, in which I need to feel any kind of way about this poisonous person being with someone else, and about this poison being love. That was poison. That was not love. It had some good moments, but all in all, crack has good moments too. Cocaine, meth, fentanyl. It has good feelings attached to it, but it is destructive. And that is exactly what that was. And I loved how I didn't even have to like force myself to do it. And the correct new person came in and said, Sydney, that's not true. That was a victory. I felt so happy about that. It's like, oh my God. Yes, like, oh my God. And that like for the first time that clicked, because I remember I was on the phone with Roberta. And again, by the way, if y'all have not, like, y'all are gonna really have to go back to video 1 to really understand everything, because this is a continuation. Like, I'm gonna reference scenarios and people and shit that you ain't gonna know nothing about. If you really wanna know what's up, go all the way back and just watch it off, okay? So binge watch me. I love that. So, she was like, I remember like a couple of months ago when I was feeling like I missed him and really fighting to go back to that. She said something to the effect of, is there such thing as a dude who, can back up what he's saying? Like, because I say, I don't know if anything's going to feel better than that. She was like, a lot of things can feel better than that. Like having a dude to tell you he love you unconditionally, tell you he love you and also shows it, actually puts you first, actually treats you right. Like, and I heard that, but I wasn't ready for it to sink in. I was still too deep into my addiction to that whole thing. I heard it, but it didn't stick. It's like, yeah, that makes sense, but I couldn't get the momentum around that, y'all. And and this book will let you know how difficult it is to get momentum around a new program. Like, why change is hard. And so, but yesterday I was able to get that thought. Like, that thought meant so much to me. And at the end of every meditation, it says, ask source for a sign that you've made connection. And that was my sign. My sign was a thought. My sign was not a new nigga coming up. It was not a bucket of money coming in. Cause I'm also reprogramming my shit around money too. But like, this is like where I really am. And so it's like, I'm like, okay, wow. So that was good. I felt so good about that. And I just kind of want to reiterate that again. Like, for me, I'm thinking nothing's going to feel more euphoric. There's never going to feel more connected. This is like the most in love I can feel. This is it. And that's that lack shit. That's the lackful consciousness that comes along with trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lack is how I got my ass into that, into the whole shit anyway. Lack is why I keep forgiving. Lack is why I stayed in it for so long. It's because of lack. Me thinking it's the only man that's ever gonna love me, it's the best it's ever gonna feel. That's all a lie. Because you know what feels a lot better than a nigga saying some shit and coming around every once in a while is a nigga that's with me every day, saying I love you, putting me first, saying I love you, saying he's gonna do something and actually doing it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. So that was a great thing. Anyway, I ended up going to sleep. Woke up today and I went to go get an acai smoothie because I live in a mall. Went to the acai smoothie, got that, came back up, did my meditation. So this meditation, and if you want, I give kind of a rundown of what the meditation is in the video before. So be sure you go and watch that because that's going to be really important for you to understand my journey. Because that meditation is the glue. That's what I can't do without. I have to do that hour meditation every single day until indefinitely. I don't know when. I'm saying a month. It may need to be a year. I don't know. But that meditation is something I can't afford to skip. Can't afford to skip it. I can't afford to think, well, I got it. I feel good today. Nope. You feel good today, we're gonna feel better. We're gonna, I have to, y'all. Like I no longer have the privilege of skipping shit. I've done it before. You think you're doing good and then you think you can skip some shit? No. No. I can't. I have to. If I don't do anything else, I have to get into my meditation. So, the first part is the induction, of course, when you're getting real present. That's like 30 minutes of it. And my focus is a little off. Like I didn't feel bad, but like my mind, the ego was battling being in control. It didn't want to let me get into beta. But I still got through the meditation. And this meditation, I was really focusing on my little girl. The first times I was doing this meditation, this is day 6. The first times I was doing it, it was like I was just really focused on getting a dude. Okay, nothing's wrong with that. That is the end result. But I've since I really am understanding that this is not about any man but my father. This is about my relationship with my dad and how I've been perceiving and manifesting that and what I've been doing with that. And so I felt some weight off of me because I really don't have very much energy to focus on what the trauma, what Pain. His nickname is Pain. With Pain, that's what I call him. What that nigga doing? Like that really has really nothing to do with this. And I know that, it has nothing. This is all about me and my father and what was going on with that. So I can now focus there and heal that because it's like healing that heals all other shit. You know what I'm saying? Once I get that together, then everything else is just gets to be fixed. You know what I'm saying? Just like the foundation of the house, it's the same thing. Remember I told y'all a few videos ago, my foundation is just not together. So this is a part of that. So it was all about my little girl. I'm really getting in tune with my little girl in my meditations. So so this one, the funny thing about meditations is sometimes you can't remember what happens. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember. It was I saw her and she's always, clinging to me. I'm standing up and I look down and she's always holding on to my leg. And sometimes she's crying, sometimes she's happy, sometimes she looks nervous, sometimes she's bleeding and bloody, quite literally, sometimes she's doing whatever. But this time she was looking a little better. She was still clinging on to me. She wasn't she wasn't crying. And I was just, for some reason, I don't know, I can't remember all of it. It was really weird. The meditation just happened. But I just remember I was bonding with her. And I do remember that one of the visualizations I have is like I envision like a beautiful man with flowers outside of my apartment in a big SUV truck because we getting ready to go on a road trip, which is something I've always wanted to do is go on a road trip with my man. And what's so funny is in my meditation, I went up to him and I was like, I love you, but I don't need you at all. I release you. Be in my life. I'm really not going to. I can't remember what I was saying, but I think it was something along the lines of, I'm so happy you're here, but I am no longer trapped in the trap of feeling like you You validate me, or feeling like having you or not having you can affect me negatively. I am really, really, really solid within myself. For real, for real, for real, solid this time. I thought I was solid before, but I'm solid now. And it truly doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter whether you go and find another girl. It doesn't matter whether you decide I'm the devil. It doesn't matter whether you hate me. It doesn't matter what you do. I am never going to use you as an excuse to make myself feel bad or enter into something negative again. I was talking to the man of my dreams. That's who he represents. And then I went to my father and I was like, Dad, I really do love you unconditionally. I truly do, but whatever you had going on, your frequency, whatever energetic combination in your trauma or whatever had you, you know, cheat on my mom and leave or whatever, I'm no longer carrying the weight and the blame of that. Whatever you did with my mom or didn't do with women in your life or with money or whatever, none of that has anything to do with what I now know that I deserve. I'm releasing you. You're off of the hook. Is your journey is your journey. Your healing is your healing. That has nothing to do with me. But I'm not going to punish myself anymore, directly or indirectly, because of whatever you had going on in the 90s or whatever you have going on now. Whatever your decisions and your thoughts and your priorities, whatever it is, that has nothing to do with what I know that I deserve. You did that, you didn't do this. Okay, great, wonderful. But I'm no longer allowing that to have power. I'm no longer letting that flawed programming, my perception of whatever you did or didn't do, or what you actually did or didn't do, I am no longer allowing that to be my guide, to be my basis of what I invite into my life. Daddy, I release you of all responsibility. I release your vibration, your vibration. And I'm said same thing to my ex. It doesn't matter what you have going on or what you do. I say that to anybody on the earth. I'm not gonna let you just because you're not prioritizing me doesn't mean I'm not prioritizing me. Just because you have a fucked up relationship with whatever you have going on, make you think you want to treat me this way. I don't have to participate. Like I have to free myself from this because that's one thing I'll tell my therapist. I'm like, okay, I understand that I understand. I know why I am attracting this. I understand my daddy issues, but that is not helping me to stop attracting it's not, I'm still doing the same things. It's like, what's the next step? I understand where my trauma comes from. Okay, I understand, but this is not really helping for real. So how do I keep myself from this cycle? How do I do it? What do I need to do for real? And so that's been my question to Source. And I think that what I did in my meditation was it. Like, I really cannot, that's old paradigm. Like, it's not the truth. And how I perceive things wasn't necessarily the truth. I give you an example of that. Like, in my mind, when my mom and dad, and this is going to be very detailed in my book that's coming out. That's a bestseller and it's got me millions of dollars. And we're going to be on The View, me and my man on The View. And on The Breakfast Club. And everywhere else. And he what's I going to say? I forgot. Hold on. Oh, I didn't find out until about 2017 that my perception of the time I went without seeing my dad was all wrong. Dad left, I don't know, early 1995 is when my mom and dad divorced, and she checked him out and all that. Because he was cheating and all that shit. That's, and in my mind, I didn't see Dad for years. It's not true. I think it's maybe like a month or two. And he was coming down every weekend once he got settled. And I spent the whole summers with him. I remember the summers with him, but in my mind, it was such a long gap. In my mind, I was 15 before I started seeing it. Like, and so that wasn't true. So my perception of things wasn't always true. And so, um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to one of the journal entries I'm gonna write soon. Is how if you go back to Model Nigga, that video, how I was literally writing down all of his positive aspects and what I wanted in a new one. I'm gonna do that with my father. I'm gonna do it with my father because that's the man that I've been trying to be with. I've been trying to be with that, no matter how detrimental it is to my spirit. Well, I can't do it no more. So, in this meditation, it's really helping me break and change the program, change the paradigm, to change the habits, to change the chemical addictions. And I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but every day is worth it. I do want it. I want to be thorough, but I want this to be. I want to be where I want to be as soon as possible. But I can't. I can't rush it, and I don't need to. I want to enjoy this because this is very key. So anyway, so I felt good after that meditation. So I just finished it literally and got on this thing here. So today I would like to go and ride my bike if I feel up to it. I like to ride my bike. I like to make money. I like to just be every day. All I really can think of that I want more is to see evidence of the program permanently shifting, to see that I'm really changing on the inside. I've been monitoring my thoughts, seeing the thoughts and feelings that I've been having, and understanding that my ego and the old program is fighting for attention. That just the book, I need to get some kind of money for promoting this book. This book is everything. It really breaks down what happens. It's like ego has been running shit. These particular emotions have been running shit. And when they start feeling like they start throwing shit at you. They're trying to suck me back in. It is really a battle. I've been in here fighting some days, some moment. It's moment to moment. It is not day to day. The day to day shit that had you fucked up. It's definitely not week to week. It's moment to moment. Right now I feel good. I want this to improve throughout the day. Do I know if it's going to? I'm not sure. So know what my intention is, but I just don't want to keep crazy standards on myself. Because that's just gonna make me feel bad. And I don't want to feel bad for feeling bad. I want to be accepting and loving for feeling however I'm feeling. Just like I want my man to feel about me. So now, to conclude this video, my relationship with Cape Town, South Africa. This is one of my favorite places. Obviously, this is a place where I experienced the most pain in my life. A place where I had my first trauma bond. But it's also the place where I'm gonna own a home with the man of my dreams. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna do. I want to I have about 14 days, 13 days, something like that, to enjoy the city. I would like to really enjoy the city the best that I can. I would like to enjoy my friends that are here. Speaking of that, I kind of got annoyed with my friends. I have a group of just a few of my people that I fuck with here. And I told them motherfuckers that I had going to have surgery and they didn't say shit. And I kind of had attitude about that. But it is what it is. I was just kind of sensitive yesterday. But even if I wasn't sensitive, like, nigga, if I say y'all that, I want y'all to say something. But that's neither here not even a big story to get into details with. So I want to make some food because I'm hungry. I only had an acai smoothie. I want to make some food and I want to do my best to maintain and amplify this energy. I want to do my best, y'all. I'm not making any promises because I do understand I'm in a very vulnerable, pivotal space right now. I am I'm transforming and I'm in rehab, I guess you could say. Yeah, that's the good way to put it. You have to literally. I'm doing the work though. I'm doing work, and I'm just happy that y'all are here along for the journey. So that's that. I think that's all I have to say on this one. So I'll check in with y'all tomorrow. Or whenever I feel I have something to say, because I skip days because some days I ain't got nothing to say. But thank y'all for being with me on this journey. And please comment and let me know how y'all feeling about anything that I've said, anything that's resonated. I love y'all. Bye.